Waiting for people to come in. Oh my gosh. I live in Los Angeles and it started raining out of nowhere and now I got this rain hair going on. It never rains in LA. It was so shocking. It was crazy. Anyway, whoa. Anyway, welcome everybody to this random YouTube live. I was just doing a story or a post, if you will, on radical acceptance of the narcissist. And I think that it was important to jump on here and talk about that because a few people were confused. I was seeing some comments like that different folks have different meanings of the word radical acceptance when you're looking at the narcissist. What I mean by it is more of Dr. Ramani's definition of it, which is where I first learned it, which is seeing the person for what they are, not what you want them to be, but what they are. Now, this commenter had said, one psychologist said that it's seeing the person and being okay with living in the situation, knowing how that person is. And I want to stress that you should not stay in a relationship with a narcissist if you can leave. Michael, love all your videos. Thank you so much for what you do. Thank you, Michael. That's very nice. Yeah, I'm going to keep making videos. And so if you can leave, that is ideal. And I understand that a lot of people, they want to, and they just can't because they have kids or there's some kind of financial situation that prevents them from leaving, or they can't get a divorce right away for this, that, or the other reason. If you can leave and you have radical acceptance of this person for who they are, then leaving is your only choice. Because gray rocking them is a temporary measure. Gray rocking is always meant to be temporary, or if you have to co-parent with them, then it's a very minute point in time, right? Like you're only seeing this person to co-parent with them, hopefully for 10 to 15 minutes a week to do the drop off and the pickup, or some kind of very small amount of time, right? Maybe you have to see them at the kids' soccer games or gymnastics or whatever it is. But Gray Rock is efficient in co-parenting situations because it's such a small amount of time. Gray Rock is never meant to be an extended period of time, staying in a marriage, a friendship, and seeing this person every single day. Because with a gray rock, you're essentially having to force yourself to be a robot, and nobody is able to be a robot for very long because we have emotions, and at some point, something so offensive or atrocious is going to be said that we're going to react. And then the narcissist, once we react, knows what pushes our buttons, and we'll go at that at full force. So radical acceptance means you must see the person for who they are and who they have been. We have a hard time letting go of the potential of the person. So in the beginning, when you are being love bombed, you see a potential there because they are future faking you. They're making you all of these promises. They say, you know, you would be such a great father to my children, mother to my children. I want to live with you. I want to get a house with you. We got to get married. We're going to be happy. You're my soulmate. They're telling you all the things you've always wanted to hear your entire life. And you might have even, you know, you're either in a vulnerable place or you're in a place where you have been working on yourself so much that you're like, oh, this is great. I've been putting the work in and here comes a big romance. What could go wrong? And they trick you and start to devalue you. It's not anything that you did. Once they feel like they've got you, they start to devalue you. And this is why they want to reel you in quickly. This is why the love bombing phase, everything happens really fast and you're like, whoa, slow down. And they're like, I can't, right? Because they need to suck you in to trap you in some way with a baby, with an engagement, with a mortgage, whatever it is, so that you can't leave. They have a severe fear of abandonment. They cannot have you leaving them. And they know the love bombing is not sustainable. It's just not. Nobody in human history ever has had a sustained love bombing phase that lasts a lifetime. It just doesn't happen because it's fake. It's fake. And so radical acceptance is letting go of that idea that they sold you of what they could be. It's letting go of the potential. It's letting go of the fallacy that you are making progress with this person. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I've invested 5 years, I'm making progress, they're just gonna go and be better for the next person. No. No, you think you've been running a marathon, you've been on a treadmill. These people do not have self-growth. They repeat the same cycles over and over and over and over and over and over. Why? Because they can't take accountability for their actions. You can't grow as a person if you don't take accountability. If you don't take accountability, you can't grow as a person. It's as simple as that. You just can't. You're doomed to repeat the same behavior with anyone and everyone that you encounter. I'm going to take a minute to read these comments. Props on giving a mention to Dr. Romney. I love Dr. Romney. She's very smart. She got her PhD from UCLA here in Los Angeles, and she is, in my opinion, the #1 expert in the world on this stuff. As we tend to have anxious attachment styles, and if you've been hurt by a narc, someone who is really aware of and disgusted by narcissistic abuse seems particularly attractive. That's an interesting take on it, Kev. I am in the radical acceptance stage. It is weird to accept that we may have fallen in love with a con, that we do not really know who the person who abused us. That's absolutely true. The narcissist mirrors you from day one. They are studying you. They are very good at studying you. They are very good at mirroring you. They know you based on what you wrote in your dating profile, what pictures you chose to use, what you said on your first date, what you didn't say, what you wore, your childhood. They know. It's a very tailored trauma. It's tailored specifically to you. They study you. They study you like a book. And they are testing you from the first moment. They're testing to see how much they can get away with, how much they can violate your boundaries. Because to be honest with you, somebody who puts up strong boundaries, who is very assured in themselves and is not desperately seeking that connection with somebody, can't really be love bombed. Because if somebody is telling you on the second date, you're my soulmate, to a healthy person, that's creepy. That's creepy. It's like, you don't even know me. What are you talking about? But to somebody who is really wanting that connection more than anything else and is willing to hear what they want to hear, they're more susceptible to that. And the narcissist will go full force towards the person who doesn't say, whoa, that was creepy. I don't want to see you again, right? That's the difference. The narcissist can't do anything with somebody who says, soulmate, what are you talking about? I don't even know you. They can't do anything with that. They can't leverage that. Now, if somebody is like, wow, I feel that too, but this feels way too soon for all of this, bam, they're gonna just start going at you using every little nugget of information about you that they possibly can. And this can be stuff that you didn't even tell them. If you are a doctor or a nurse, for example, and you're dedicating your life to helping people, they know that their little victimhood narrative is going to work on you. That's your profession. That's your personality. If you are a teacher or a coach, they know that they can fake this ignorance of, I didn't know any better, And you are more likely, more susceptible to try to teach them because that's who you are. That's your profession. Think about that. Think about exactly what they're using against you. Dr. Romani, everybody likes her. My partner shows symptoms of narcissism, but is also kind and polite at times. He was abusive only once, and he said not to take it literally. Shall I still consider him narcissistic if he was good earlier? So, in this case, I'm not working with enough information to fully answer that question. I do offer one-on-one remote narcissistic abuse recovery coaching. I've been told it's very good. Go for it. She's great. Thank you, Christine. In this case, if you want trauma bond breakage, if you want co-parenting tactics, if you want what the heck just happened to me answers, if you're confused, email me. My email is danielle.radin@gmail.com. It's just my name. My email's in my bio. Shoot me an email. We'll get something going. I have a few more slots for next week. But in the case of this question, I don't know what you mean by he was only abusive once. I don't know if you're living together. I don't know what state you live in. I don't know what your financial situation is if you have kids. I don't know the situation. So yeah, shoot me an email. I think I was raised by a narcissistic mother, so I have attracted narcs as I have had no boundaries, and I'm a natural people pleaser. This has made me pray a few times. Yeah, the people pleasers are easier to prey on for narcissists. They just are. They just are. You're willing to put up with way more than other people. It's as simple as that. Narcissists use you. They see you as useful or not useful. And they try to get from you everything that you will give. They will take all your time, energy, money, and stuff if you let them. And with a people pleaser, you're more than willing. How can I serve you? Oh, you want all my money? Here, take all my money. And it's just easier for the narcissist to scam you and use you, and you're less likely to leave. And if you did have a narcissistic parent, yeah, that kind of relationship is going to be familiar to you, right? That's all that is. It's a familiar relationship to you. It doesn't make it acceptable. It doesn't mean that you have to put up with a person like that. It just means it's familiar. We as human beings are conditioned to repress emotions to escape, to make stories about the emotions. I don't know about that. You don't have to be conditioned to repress your emotions whatsoever. And if somebody is continuously dehumanizing you, meaning that they don't allow you to have feelings, you've been there for them for every whatever crisis they're going through that week, and then you're not allowed to have a bad day, have a sad day. You're not allowed to have a grievance in the relationship. You are stonewalled and ghosted and gaslit every single time you bring something up. That's a person who is not allowing you to be a human. And that's someone that you should bolt from. Bolt! Bye! My self-esteem was utterly destroyed, but I am ashamed of putting up with emotional abuse for so long. I am trying to accept that I never heard of covert narcissism until this year, 2 years into it. Listen, there's no use in sitting around and getting down on yourself for not seeing it earlier. With a covert narcissist in particular, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's virtually impossible to see it unless you have hindsight. It is virtually impossible. If you've never been in a relationship like this, you're not going to see it. If you have been with like a more grandiose or a more psychopathic, over the top, ego, whatever, you're also not going to see it. Coverts are very low key. They're very passive aggressive. They are master manipulators. They lie like it's nothing. They lie like they're ordering lunch. And it is nearly impossible to see something that you didn't even know you were supposed to be looking for, right? Here's an example. What color shirt was I wearing? What color shirt was I wearing? A lot of you don't know because you didn't know you were supposed to be looking for it. You see what I'm saying? It's like you can't see what you didn't know you were supposed to be looking for. If you give me a Where's Waldo book, I can see I'm trying to find Waldo. If you give me a Harry Potter book and you're like, what did it say on page 15? I don't know. I didn't know I was supposed to know what was on page 15, right? It's the exact same concept with a covert narcissist. No, it's not white, Douglas. No, it's pink. The answer was pink. But you can't know ahead of time with a covert narcissist. You're either going to meet them or you're not. Once you've been with the covert and you see it for what it is, then yeah, you can spot it from a mile away and you will know. But if you don't have the experience with it, these people are master manipulators. They lie like they are ordering lunch. It's not bad to them. These are morally bankrupt people. They're willing to do and say anything to get what they want. They have a perpetual victim narrative. They are always the victim, and so they can't take any accountability for anything that they do because they can victimize themselves for any and all reasons. They could shoot you in the arm and you would be screaming and yelling, oh my God, you shot me in the arm, I'm in pain, how could you do this? And they'd be like, why are you yelling at me? They're just always victims. They are always victims. And you can't do anything with that. That is not sustainable. You can't do anything with that. You got to run away from that question. Not from that question. You got to run away from that person, but somebody was asking me a question. And the question was, do you have a main or kids? Do you have a man or kids? Lean on strong folks, Dr. Romney, King James Bible. Covert narcissists are sneaky. I have dealt with many, and from my experience, they are cowards. That's why they will backstab you. Oh, absolutely, they are cowards. They are completely inauthentic, disingenuous people. They will smile in your face and stab you in the back. My favorite was don't take it personally. Yeah, I mean, I posted a video like this on TikTok. I don't think I've posted it here yet. Also, I have a podcast if you're interested in listening to this kind of stuff when you drive. It's on Spotify. And I put the link in all of my videos at the bottom. So if you want to listen to a podcast on Spotify, feel free to do that. It's called Call Them Narcissists. And I also have a book. It is a very helpful book. If you don't want to do coaching, if you're not ready for that, or you want a more affordable option, which I make my coaching as affordable as humanly possible while still living in Los Angeles and having to like survive. But anyway, if you're not ready for coaching, I highly recommend the book. It's at the bottom of all my YouTube videos, and it talks about communication tactics you can use if you have to deal with a narcissist, exit plan, escape plans, and all of that. So that's my book on Amazon. Highly recommend you get that. How do you know the difference between a narc and someone who is just a child stuck in an adult's mind? A narcissist is going to hurt you for sport. They're going to hurt you just because they're hurt. They're going to be completely inauthentic. Their actions are not going to line up with their words. They're going to have all the symptoms of narcissism: a gross sense of entitlement, an overinflated ego, delusions of grandeur, a lack of empathy. Some people are just immature, and some people are more sinister, and they're literally just out to get you. They're out to scam you. They're out to sabotage you. There are people like that in the world, unfortunately. And the best way to prevent that from coming into your life is to be very self-assured and not put up with their BS, and put up strong boundaries and stick to them, because a verbal boundary without action behind it means nothing. It means nothing. So if you say, I will break up with you if you cheat on me, but then you stay with the person, that boundary means nothing. And it only tells the narcissist, well, she was bluffing. She was bluffing, and they will continue to do their atrocious behavior. If you say, if you cheat on me, I will leave, you have to leave. That's what putting up a boundary looks like. I made it back from stepping away in time. Just an extra +1 pleasant comment for Danielle. You are amazing. Wow, thank you, Private O. I appreciate you. Appreciate all you guys. So if you do want remote coaching, email me, danielle.radin@gmail.com. I am going to hop off here because there is a happy hour at the ramen place that I like, and it's been raining in LA, which is unusual, so I definitely want to get some ramen, and they have like a 50% off offer that I've been waiting for. But thank you so much for joining, and I will see you later.